See, with me, my misplays, you could always tell that it's because I don't know how to play well. I guess we go Druid now? Saw some strong Druids. Druid might be even stronger now that Death Knight's been taken down a peg, so... Something. How does this song? My reflection, something inside me. How's that Disney song go? Where will my reflection go? Show? What will it show? Well, what will it show? You know what I'm talking about. Yesterday I posted a Madness and Egg that was Dire Wolf buffed. Ooh, very nice. Potion of Madness might be a top 3 or at least top 5 card in Priest right now, because there are a lot of very strong things it can steal in this meta. Also known as just an alley. Oh, Wicked Claw first, sure. Guess we could think about this one. Oh, wow. Vitriol or Nothing from Geekbry. Let me update my today command. Ta-da! So Fairy Dragon's the obvious pick here. It is a solid one. It's untargetable. It also opens up dragon synergies. I bet there are ways to really take advantage of Stockade's Prisoner and Druid. Thinking about when exactly it will come out on the board and being able to, like, instant buff it with other cards. And the win rate actually does reflect my supposition. Let me take Stockade's Prisoner. That's a card I really don't mind, and you could say it's bad for Druid because it doesn't come on the board right away, but I think you can finagle it so that it could be an advantage. Wow. Well, we'll take the Swarm. Plus, it's a 2-mana 5/4. Does anyone know if it comes out dormanted out of the Unending Swarm, or what? How does that work? It really is mine. It really is. Now, if you queue into Arena and you face against a Malignant Horror, don't come down here in the dungeon with your torches and pitchforks. It just means that that's an old deck from before the hotfix. It comes out dormanted. It's fine. It's still strong, right? Yeah, I know it's not a battle cry, but Dormant historically has all sorts of bugs around it, and also all sorts of unintuitive interactions with other things. Just use your pitchfork chain. Just chain it to a railing. I like the Archer, but Druid of the Scythe is nice because it's flexible. Yeah, right. If Sun Fury Clergy can have Rush, any interaction's possible. Foul Egg has a cracked win rate. What the hell? Maybe we take Foul Egg. We don't have a way to... How many mana does this chicken cost? Is it a 3-mana 3/3? We don't currently have a way to pop the egg, but Druid is all about finding ways to pop the egg, so maybe we actually just take the egg here. I suppose you could argue that if you're looking to set up Unending Swarm, the egg takes up a board space that you would want for something more active. But I do kind of feel like we should take the egg here. Now that we look at it a little bit more. I like the 2-mana 5/5 that dies after the attack. You play it and don't attack. It makes a lot of pressure on enemy in early game. Very true of mine. It's good pressure in the early game. It holds down the fort in the middle and late game, too. Anytime you could have a curve card that scales well into the middle and the late game, you're really happy about it. Architect spreads. Love me some lingering zombie action. Love it. Whoa! Yikes. You know, I would consider taking the Jade Behemoth. I would consider it, chat. We already have 2 6-cost cards, and 3 6-cost cards in the first 8 picks is so awkward. I think we're taking the Hog Chopper. Hog Chopper for curve. Who wants they hog chopped? You want the Jade? Why? Why? Just because it's Jade? Look, I have attempted Jade memes more than I care to admit. And I will do Jade memes in 2023, but it has to make sense. And beginning Jade memes with a Behemoth after you already have 2 6-cost cards probably doesn't make sense. Here's a question for how Jade Golems work. If you resurrect Jade Golems, it would not count towards the total, right? Would they come back as the form they originally were? Also, how much mana? Like, if a Jade Golem, if you have like a 4/4 Jade Golem, does the card say it costs 4? Many questions. The cost scales with their size. Okay. So 1/1s and 2/2s would be in the swarm. But I don't want to be held to that. That's a new fun thing I learned how to do yesterday or so. Well, you know what? These are all trash, so we'll pick up an old friend in the Spreading Plague. We might be able to use it to good effect. We'll see. Another 6, though. 8 Jade cards and a Parrot in your Shaman deck. That's awesome. Yeah, you can go Jade and Shaman. You could even go Jade and Rogue, although you might not get anywhere with it. Ormond Guard's quite good. Deck looks solid so far. Some more early curve, and we do need our buffs. We don't really have our buffs yet, that's the big thing. Flyer looking real nice, though. That's his Jared Leto Joker voice. How are they gonna beat Spreading Plague into Hadronox? It's impossible. 9 mana, 3/7? Can't be beat. Just out of curiosity, I'm gonna look at the win rate discrepancy here. A 2/2 for 2, don't take it. Good point. Alright, who wants to guess the percentage difference between Hadronox and Astalor? Approximately. 20%, 15%? It's actually only 13, if you could believe that. Astalor is 64.6% win rate. Hadronox 51.8%. 35%. That's, we always look at deck win rate. When I'm talking about win rate, I'm always talking about deck win rate. Because played win rate doesn't typically tell you that much about the card, other than what kind of card it is. Like, Sinister Strike would have a high played win rate because you're usually only playing that for lethal, for example. So, with this pick, I'm a bit torn. Like how it was played against you yesterday for lethal? Yeah, like that. Like that, Geek Bry. Exactly. Just like so. Soul of the Forest would be our first buff, like board buff, which makes it really desirable. Because we have all these cards that spread, that spread, that spread. That spread. Spread and spread and spreads. But we don't have a way to take advantage of that yet. However, it's not one of the better ones. I'm happy to pick it up. But maybe we just want a Florist, another solid card to put in our Swarm. That would make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things so far that go in the Swarm. And in fact, some of those have multiple. I don't think it'll be too hard to get this Swarm off. How many 2-drops do we have? 1, 2... We sure could pick up some more 2-drops though. Just for curve purposes. I kind of feel like it should be Florist. And I guess in this class there is upside we should consider. Nature spells. Like all of a sudden Spreading Plague becomes viable when it costs 5 or 4. Auctioneer? Oh, come on. Don't yank my Shane. Soul of the Forest interesting with Swarm. And Plague, I mean, it is true that maybe it could be a... Maybe you could think of it like a comeback thing. You know what? I'm convinced. We'll find other 2-drops. You could think of it like a comeback card almost. You play Plague and Soul, or you play Swarm and Soul. I would take Mailbox Dancer here because we are looking for 2s. However, now that I think of it, do you want to resummon Mailbox Dancer with that Death Rattle? I think you don't care. By that point in the game, I think you don't care, probably. Played win rate is more informative when comparing cards less than, like, 5 or 6 mana. Do you mean more informative than played win rate of more than 5 or 6 mana, or more informative than deck win rate? Because I might agree with the first. But I still think deck win rate is really the only thing to look at for evaluating card strength. The Shade's not that hot. Not hot in the Shade. We just want the Dancer here. Webweave for Unending Swarm or Living Roots for everything else? Probably Living Roots for everything else. Fisherman's good. I like Fisherman. It's undead. It's got an upside spell damage. Slapping that undead tag on Fisherman made it a lot better. Alright, our 2s are looking better. Much improved. Grendelek, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fun dungeon. Grendelek. That sounds like a nefarious being who might live in the fun dungeon. In the deepest depths. Pick Armorer here. Great card. Spoiled for choice in this pack. We're hard up for 3s. Wicker Claw is quite strong, and Living Roots, fantastic 1-drop. Maybe I take Living Roots here. Wicker Claw, I maintain, is a strong card that I always struggle with knowing how to use. It's just awkward on curve, mostly. Really good with Park Panther, though, which we don't have yet. Yeah. God, I want that Lotus, though. But I think you take double Swarm. God, Lotus would be so good for spreading Plague. We'll pick up something else like it. Oh, you take the Mount all day, you take the Mount. Mount and Park Panther are pretty close to insta-picks for me in this class. Beaming Sidekick or Faceless Manipulator? How are we on sustainability in this deck? We have 1 Discover. We're looking pretty not good on sustainability. What about Lingering Zombie? That's up there too. But, you know, I passed a Lingering Zombie for... What did I pass it for? Maybe a Swarm or something? I don't... Yeah, it was Swarm. I'd say Swarm is closer to an insta-pick than Lingering Zombie. But it's definitely, maybe, possibly top 5. Might take Manipulator for a little bit of heft. We'll see how it do. Well, this is card draw and these are bad, so sure. Hate that pick, but sure. Beetlemancy works. Banker. Banker's value. Banker's value. Death Speaker. Whoa, you want the So, I think. So is one of your win conditions here. We're really good at spreading, we just need to take advantage. Hosen or another Architect? The city walls, by the way, do come out in Unending Swarm. They are 2 cost. Which makes Architect pretty desirable, I think. Again, 3 good options. I think I would take the Reef here. You can choose which form it wants to be in, and then that comes out in the Swarm. Form, then Swarm. Mule's nice, too. I think you want Power of the Wild here. What do you think, chat? It's so easy to see a Bone Mare take a Bone Mare. Slots in at the top of our curve very nicely. You can go Swarm and then Bone Mare for lethal. Really nice synergies. You can make a city wall, have some attack. It does a lot in this deck. However, all that being said, Power of the Wild is what enables everything in our deck, right? Plague then Power, Swarm then Power, Architect then Power. Like, that's 5 cards at our top end that are made so much better by the Power. The Beetlemancy as well goes wide. You actually like the Bone Mare here? I don't think Bone Mare is, like, the best anymore. It's still really good, but much easier to deal with it. I think I get what you're saying. Played is a subset of deck, and if played, that card is correlated with winning or losing scenarios rather than the card's effect, it doesn't tell you much. Right. It's so context dependent on how and when you play the card. Because there are cards that you typically play when you're losing, and cards you typically play when you're winning. And it's not the case that all cards you play when you're losing are bad, and all cards you play when you're winning are good, but that's what played win rate might have you believe. But a discrepancy between two cards in terms of their deck win rate does tell you something, because you learn that decks with that card typically tend to perform better than decks with the other card, which is good information. I'll take the power. What a rude final pick. I guess you're looking at a Fellsoul Inquisitor because you can buff it. You can buff it with this, you can buff it with this, with this, with this, with this. But I don't like it. I really don't want Ticking Abomination in this deck of all decks. You take the Inquisitor. I'll unpin Geekbry's Insight. And we'll throw the... Oh, I got rid of it. Throw the paint back up.
I must protect the wild.
Yeah, I went power. I think it's right. I think it's right for us. 1 to 2. Go 1-3 here. Make a 1-3, and next turn... you could Living Roots coin power if you want to, or you could just 2-drop and then... Okay, they're hitting with the dagger. Does that mean they just hit and then re-dagger next turn or something like that? Let's see. Let's see what they're hitting for. How many heirs you gonna have, Geekbry? How many heirs you looking to have? Heirs to your immense fortune. Oprah didn't like Interview with a Vampire? What's her problem? This is why you don't want too many 6s, by the way. This really honestly is not like a great play, because they do have healing and the breaking points are good, but I think you still make it and then hope that you top deck something viable. Even a Hog Chopper would be great. I would love a Soul of the Forest. Would you say you really like my air style? Your 0 to 400 air style? Cheap shit? Alright. Well, there goes my advantage. Yes! Too bad not active, though. Shade Idol? We'll just go for value in the long run. I don't think I want Shade Idol. Just to dilute my deck for no reason. Interview with a Vampire. I don't know why Oprah didn't like it. You'll have to ask her. I liked it. Angry showed me this movie because they're very passionate about vampires. You need to start tracking... I'll talk more about it in a second, but I need to think of this turn. We can just start tracking how many things have died. So we went Druid of the Reef, that's one thing. Into, let's see, we did have Living Roots, that's 3. This would be 4. So currently there's 4 hits. 5, 6 out of here. So yeah, let's go ahead and play the Architect. Make our swarm better. And there's a new interview with the Vampire show that's apparently very good. I actually have an interview with the Vampire... Hey, let me find it here. Yeah, here it is. This is one of my most famous MS paintings. This is my interview with the Vampire. Complete with Simon and Bishop. Famous scene from the movie. Very romantic. Very sensual, I'd say. Flyer hero power, I guess? But then we really want a faceless here. I'll trade some stuff, I guess. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I don't know, 4 out of 5 blobs. I thought the movie was great. Thought it was super sexy. I love Brad Pitt. It was interesting to see Tom Cruise in this role. He was kind of stretching his acting chops a little bit. Something different than he typically does. I remember it being like a kind of a difficult movie in the sense of like challenging, maybe, the situations they find themselves in. It makes good on the moral quandaries that happen when you become an undead eternal being who preys upon others for sustenance. Yeah, incredible. Don't incredible me, you did it. I didn't know how you thought that card was gonna work. Yeah, and I remember thinking that the frame narrative of Interview with the Vampire is pretty cool too. The interview part. Great costumes. Yeah, that's about what I have to say about it. Cool. Crawl Jellyman. Hey boys, I'm the Jellyman. Elven Archer on 1. I'd say this is, does that mean they are gonna coin a buff, actually? You think this means they're gonna coin a buff?
Video 2 fist.
Yo! Thank you for the 27, Frank. Like that you naturally side with Pitt's character, but by the end, if you're honest with yourself, you're not sure anymore. Yeah, my memory is a bit too soggy for me to remember the intricacies of that, but I remember that something like that being the case, and I do think that's good. I'm gonna run Wicker Claw here, but if it's coin buff, we're pretty sad. On the bright side, we can clear it with a rush. Let me go taunt to protect. And next turn we could potentially have 6 damage to clear things. Including the one from your hero power. It's possible they just don't know what they're doing. The archer play didn't make sense. I don't think. City tax, okay. Fair enough. Let's find some value here. Need a bit of flexibility in ye old hand. So far, Druid of the Reef. Wicker Claw? I think that's it. I think we've had two things die that go into the swarm. Which is not great because we had 2 of them in hand that... But it's fine, I don't know. We'll get some stuff to work with here. That's what I like to see. That makes a 7-4. Yeah, I'll do it. And this 4-2, yeah, 3 mana, that makes sense. Last thing we want to see in the world is a silence come down here. If silence don't come down here, we're pretty okay. So we've had Druid of the Reef, Mailbox Dancer, and Wicker Claw die. Fisherman is about to die. That'll be 4 things. So maybe we use Power of the Wild as a body here. Or 5, 6, 7. We go 1/1s. Inquisitor. Buff. And kill the dude. Kind of a middle ground terrain between putting bodies on the board and buffing the bodies on the board. Silver S-word. That's manageable. I think we can be okay with that. Some of them beetles with taunt. I assume they're 3 mana, yeah. And go Smorky Smork with the rest of the board. I really like the coin buff there. Hard for them to do anything about this. Probably win before we play a Swarm. Yeah. Yep. Tuno Pog. Pog champ. Alright, keep the Wicker Man. 1, 2, 3, sure. Ow, egg. Leg. Database! Database! I think you still probably go Living Roots first. Get Foul Egg down maybe with a hero power on turn 3. So you want something that can immediately and actively have a board presence. What nonsense could that be? Wicked Claw probably will end up being a good counter to whatever the nonsense is. See if it's playable early. Here it comes. Here it comes! 4/4 Rat Pack. Okay. Okay. Well, no, I don't think that's good for us either. So what is evil Blobby jealous of? He doesn't look that jealous. I mean, typically it's the protagonist who sees the evil version in the mirror, right? This is kind of an inversion, or maybe we're just seeing it from the other side. I would say regular Blobby would be jealous of evil Blobby's really cool style with the cool hat and the cane. I don't know what evil Blobby would be jealous of. Maybe the simple life of being just a regular blob. Least hirsute. So is it this? I'm gonna keep smorking. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling the smork. I want a lot of bodies out there for soul as well. You ain't got no soul power. Be a lot of 1/1s in Swarm though. Don't you see the mirror as a reflection as opposed to a different person? Oh, what are different people if not reflections of ourselves? Think about it. Yeah, problems. Problems arise. Problems arise. Maybe we can run something like this? Run this next turn. And this with the remainder? It may be too late. They're popping the egg. That's a 3 mana 3/3 by the way. Not 2 mana. Interesting choice. And they're deadly shotting the 1/3. How much damage do they do to us here? I suppose we could fish him and mount. Swarm gets us what? Like a bunch of 1/1s and a Wicker Claw and like a 1... like an egg? I guess so. Surely they start to go face though, right? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that might be too late for this to make sense. So what about the Kodo line? 2, 3, make it a 6/5, goes right into here. Hero power, they kill with two rats. I guess this is better. I hope. We watched a movie about the pressures of being evil all the time, like you described, Geek Bry. Frank, you might have to help me out. It was, C.I. Ape. C.I. Ape. A movie all about the pressures of being evil all the time, even when you just want to hang out tired in your PJs. Highly recommended. It's a classic. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're dead on board. How do we prevent that from happening? I don't think we have taunts in here, which is a problem. Yeah, it's just a bunch of 1/1s, man. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, like... like, this is a way to survive? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Like, we survive, right? We did not watch this movie together. What? I guess it was just the rest of the house. Yeah, I'm sad that you weren't a part of that. You would have had a time. I hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. I know Ange remembers this movie. And I'm sure Greg does too. Yeah, that's a film in which the CIA, the arm of American imperialism, employs the aid of intrepid high school students for its Black Ops. For some reason that the movie never really particularly explains. But a reason that I assume has to do with the friendship between the main teenager and the CIA in question, who is their top operative and is also a monkey. A CGI monkey who does talk, but only very selectively, presumably because they had to spend extra money to animate his lips. And the rarity with which he talks means that when he does talk, it always comes as a really distressing surprise because you've sort of forgotten that that's a thing. And their operation is all about foiling the plans of this mad scientist who lives on his lair on this island, and who also has a teenage child who he is struggling to connect with. And he brings many other mad villain scientists together, and they mostly just kind of bicker about what sorts of plans they ought to have at some point. And by the time the movie's over, they never really... There's something with robot dogs. It never really pans out. That's a good movie. First. I'll go foul egg first this time. Just to wait and see if we need to use this as a rush. If we wanted to be a bit cheeky, we could put out a 3-1. It's hard to say what's better to come out of your unending swarm. 3-1 rush, 1-3 taunt, both good. So the CI ape is an Evangelion, and the high school student is Shinji. I suppose so. Yeah, it's all about parents like learning how to spend time with their kids, I guess. Which is what Evangelion's about too, in a way. I want to pre-hit that so that if they hit in, we can take care of this without any further trouble. Maybe the ape is the high school kid's dead mother reborn. I think that her parents were getting a divorce, although the details are foggy. Maybe upon the divorce, their mother transformed into the ape. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sense of it all. This is a problem. I don't really want to pop that. I could shoot this. It's a very complex movie with a lot of interlacing referentiality to all sorts of classics of film. Probably mostly like Air Buddies movies or whatever, but you know, beggars choosers. Well, we just made their broomsticks so much better. That sucks. We're kind of playing right into their hands. I don't like it. Guidance? Moonlit Guidance? For free? Okay. Yeah, that works. We can play it next turn and have like a guaranteed hit. That works. They got us kind of on our back feet here, on our back heels. It was a really good Void Caller and a really good Street Sweeper. Ghoul weren't bad neither. Yes! Yeah! Alright. Best Spreading Plague 2023. They clear them all, we play another one. That's the way. So, what's our approach? I'm thinking like you could trade in here twice, and Spreading Plague again. You could also Stockades and Astalor, but Stockades... Does the Dormant slot count against Spreading Plague? Anyone know this? I'm ashamed to say I don't know. It doesn't count. Okay. I'll trust you on that one. And we'll do one of these. And our board should be full. And this will have 2 procs on it. Very nice. It makes sense that it doesn't count because Dormant is like not there on the board. Oh dear. Haven't seen Summer of Sam, John. There's that Adrian Brody again. Oh, great draw. Great draw, because now we could do this. Hiya! So nice. I'll simplify their board a bit. Not sure if it's right. How many souls does a forest have anyway? If a soul is in the forest and no one is around to embody it, does it make a sound? Yeah, I gotta hit you with the refund, Mr. Coffin. They drew? The strong warlock. I'm getting kind of annoyed. But we have Astalor, right? So can't lose. 3 5s on turn 9. I guess copying this would be pretty nice. Don't really need to play Astalor here. Other than, like, the fact that it gets the big Astalor out in your hand sooner. A 5/4 Death Rattle with a 2/2 in it. Yeah, is that worth it for Faceless? Or do we save Faceless if in case some, like, humongo card comes down? I don't know. Yeah, let's hold off on Faceless. Are we smoking here or are we trading up? 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. We can put them down to 11. I think I like smoking, actually, now that I look at the board. So let's make some beetles. 0 power that. Fudge. Missed the last hit. Sloppy fingers. Most of Warlock's AoEs are symmetrical. So we probably don't have to worry too much about... I mean, AoE would be good for them, but it also clears their board.
We will rebuild from the ground up.
Okay. Sure thing.
Our gift of frost fills us.
My mana has been extremely awkward the last few turns. But we got this fella. We're close. We're close.
Do you have an audience with the king?
What's up, Montagnus? How you doing? Hope you're well. This is the sort of thing I was thinking of when I decided to save the manipulator. 4, 6, 8. That's 16 damage. So let's say you send one into the O1. And all 11 hit. That's 5 damage. They go down to 9. Is this lethal? I think it might be lethal, so we should check. Should have started sooner, probably. Yeah. Perfect lethal. If it weren't lethal, I would have really thought about Manipulator on the 610, but... Lethal is lethal is lethal. Needed Astalor in that one. Tomorrow is company division-wide recreational day. Recreate, employees, or else! I'm glad you'll have some nice downtime. 16 is a lot, Frank. That's a lot. Some might say it's too a lot. This time we'll put the egg out first because this buffs the egg. So we go here and then maybe hero power so buff. I guess it's still Wicker Claw. I mean, streaming is my work, yeah. It's my job. As far as relaxation goes, watch a lot of movies. Watch a lot of TV. Reading and writing sometimes. I've been out of the habit the last few weeks, but I'm trying to get back into it. Watch Twitch, play games, hang with my housemates. Nothing terribly surprising. Oh yes, and then the BDSM Empire I run in my spare time just for fun. But nobody's interested in that. Kappa. Kappa! So I'd say that I'm just a boring blob. It's like the rest of you, but that would ruin the transference relationship. So I have to be mysterious. Hero power so. Fisherman roots. Hero power so is really nice. I guess I'll do it. I would love to set it up better, but well, what if we don't hero power? We could don't hero power. That's definitely an option. Just one attack and then we go in here and in here. Yeah, sure. Think this is a little better? Okay, well we can't target that. Which really sucks, because that would be perfect. God damn it. Untargetable! Unacceptable! I'm so mad because the math on this turn really doesn't work out for us, but... Double trade, yeah. I guess so. Need a hell of a draw next turn, because 2 city architects do not look that good in our hand right now. Oh no. Oh no! The new malignant horror, Astalor, every game. Hilarious. Oh no, oh no, oh no, Trash Queen's here! Oh no, hooray, hooray, oh no! Thank you for the 24 months, Trash Queen, you're the best. Glad you're here. Ass on ass action. Well, we have quite a bit of a momentum advantage, so I guess I like where we're at here. And plus, all these city architects are gonna help us have bodies on board to suck up damage, perhaps. When do you give me the armor? 7? Okay. Play this and then this. Yes, burn, my Dungeonites, burn.
One shot, one kill. Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop.
We will rebuild from the ground up.
Arcane bolts.
I will continue to like to smirk here. Next turn they can get some armor. Shouldn't be that much of a problem. Take that value trade so that they can't kill one of these on the board. Three for 5, 6, 10, 11. Not quite to lethal. Could have made a somewhat more aggressive play. But even just 8 damage might be enough to get us there. Let's keep that in mind. I don't know that I've ever seen someone use an inactive final level Astalor before, but... Oh, shit. Why would you trade like that, you nincompoop? You had such a better way to trade. Doesn't matter. 8 damage. It almost went everywhere but face. Until the last missile. It almost saved it for the last missile. That's funny. 8 is plenty, yeah. I'm gonna take a real quick break here to refill my coffee cup, mug. Won't be long. And I'm excited to see where this run goes. I think it's quite promising. Enjoy the pictures while you wait. Company mandated enjoyment of imagery. Company mandated enjoyment. That's the Blobby problem. Okay. Hope you enjoyed your time with the slideshow. You know the one sad thing about this arrangement? What the basin against Simon? Oh no! My boy! You're gonna make me massacre my son! Oh no. Get rid of these trash fours, keep, you know, the win the game card. I'm sorry, my friend, my son, Simon. Meow. I'm so sorry, Simon, but I'm going to have to obliterate you. We'll see how big his brain actually is. Obliteration. Obliteration. Oblidi oblidai. Anyway, as I was saying, the one bad thing about this arrangement for me is that when I go on break, you all get to watch the cool slideshow and I never get to see it. I'm really jealous of you all. Is this pate? I guess it is seafood. I wonder about this. Look at the big boy out. I was really considering the prisoner though. Well played. Is that like I have no way to deal with your 4-5 well played, or like what? Okay, it's a good draw. Oh, I don't... Why is that card so bad? Also... looks like a furry. Not a disparaging remark, just an observation. In reference to the rope? Oh, okay. Sometimes I forget to take people's comments in bad faith. God, I don't know. Composting's good value. How would we lose this game? How would we lose this game? We should have plenty of value. I'm gonna take Living Roots here. I think Living Roots helps us over the next few turns. Especially with a buff in hand. It's a way to keep the early game from spiraling, which is I think our main goal with Astalor around. No early game spirals. I'll just trade everything down. If you got AoE, you got AoE, so be it. Not AoE! Not AoE! Ooh! Living Roots was the right pick, chat! Oh boy, was it! Oh boy, was it. I guess the sad thing is that this doesn't get the... But whatever. I'll triple trade. Sure, I'll triple trash trade. What's the 4-1 to good use? Wow, what a board. What a board. I don't know if you're gonna get far like that. Let's try to keep Death Rattles intact in case they have some sort of board clear. I gotta work at 1, Blobby. I don't want to go to work today. You want me to write you a note? A Blobster's note? I heard that they take those sometimes. Maybe just this and this, actually. This for the first layer. These for the second. I would rather trade 2 small bodies than 1 big one for the aforementioned AoE play around. Alright, dear, what line of work are you in, Umber Death? What line of work do you traffic in? If you want to share. 3 Harkonners of Dread. Well, this is a nice shaman deck you got there. You can't just use them like this. We're too powerful, but it's a nice idea. 3/3 in, 2/2, and then that, and then this. Yeah, that's okay. Hang on, though. If we're thinking about board space, I'd have to trade this in. Wait, we only need 3 board spaces. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. Don't mind me. Two, 2/2. Archetype. Two jobs. Today's KBS, janitorial company that caters to businesses. We are currently cleaning the new Amazon building every day for the moment. Ah, Amazon. Should have known. I swear, 40% of the time people say what line of work they're in, it's somehow connected to Amazon in this stream. What's up, -1? Wait, you were here earlier? It wasn't Crypto the Necrodancer -1. It was Cadence of Hyrule. King K. Rool. Get it straight. I am so good, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm humble too. Dear KBS, Video Blobby here, an entertainer of great influence and sway, writing to let you know that Umbra Death, who you may know as, and then I just have like a blank, like an underscore. You can write your own name in Umbra Death. You may know as blank. Writing to inform you that Umbra Death will not be coming into work today. They shitted their pants so hard it burst through the seam and kind of just like splattered over the entire room. So they gotta kind of take care of that. Love, Video Blobby. Watermark. Is this too slow of an opener? Keeping both of these? You keep Astalor. I might throw the Prisoner just because, like, when would we be getting this out? It's probably too late against Druid. If it were another class, perhaps. You're welcome, buddy. They didn't overdo it with buffing Hunter. Most of their adjustments in recent history have been very conservative, so I would assume that they didn't overdo it. My Hunter was fine. I could see there being potential for much better Hunters than the one I drafted. I will happily hero power to kill that minion. Giving me a nice functional hero power here. So my real answer is I have no idea how powerful Hunter is. But the win rate has... Let's see, what's it doing now? It had shot up when I checked earlier. Now it's up even further, 45.2%. Not terrible. I know. That's a reference to the It's Always Sunny podcast. Very good one. Nah, I just had 3 kind of dickwad losses with the hunter. They all could have broken the other direction if either I had been paying attention more, or if our opponent had been paying attention more and hadn't had a malignant horror. If they'd only paid attention to know enough to know that it had been banned. I guess we do this. It's kind of what I was hoping, that we'd find some use for the hero power. Perfect. And because it is Druid, I will be trading. This music's so quiet all of a sudden. It was so loud before. Maybe the band walked farther away. Yeah, Beetlemancy is nice here, I think. All of our other stuff needs to cook a little bit more. Let it cook.
All's well that sun wills.
I see. Well, I guess we could start calculating. We've had 1, 2. You have 2 things in here? Ugh. Maybe just Kodo mount? You would make a 6-6? 6-5 rather? 6-5 goes like into here? Or maybe into here? I don't know. Yeah, you know, I think I should have traded that. I don't care, it doesn't matter. It worked perfectly. We said what? There were 2 things in the tank already, so this will be a 3rd. Yeah, why? Weirdly, we dodged all the stuff that goes in here. Most of our deck is that stuff, but we dodged it. So it'll be a while before this makes sense, which is fine. We have plenty of other things to do. I'm not worried about it. Pounce. Okay, really good armorer here. Real good. Plus active Vizya. Love this turn. Jade Idol again. Good composting for 2 draws. Do we care about 2 draws? Do we just take another swarm? I will repeat the wisdom that we've gathered, which is that we won't be able to play it for a while. So maybe we do just take a nice cheap composting, throw it on here, get a couple of extra cards in our hand just to make damn sure we don't run out of resources. I don't think it would be a problem, but we're hedging our bets here. We're playing around extreme situations. We don't know what sort of nefarious thing they drew on turn 1 here. Cenarius is good. Not good enough. I don't have great plays though. I could draw a card. Stockades. Okay. Alright, sure. Give me a 5/8, I guess? Why not? Put the us in Cenarius. Oh lord, glad we had a lot of health. Is this lethal? Again, I wonder. I don't think so. I mean, worst case scenario, goes 6 into here, 10 into here. Yeah, not even close. So what's the play? I positioned poorly for this. I think it still might be Astalor. But do you ever architect for some reason? I don't think so. I'm also not sure whether you're supposed to run that in first or not. Okay, the hits are, I would say, actively atrocious, but at least they killed the Bone Mare. That was the important thing. That was an important thing, I should say. Yeah, it turned out okay. It turned out okay. If they had left, like, 2 health on the Bone Mare, that would have probably been a worst-case scenario. Or even 1 health, and then 1 more health on the... Yeah, it could have been bad, is the point, but it wasn't. Is that a heavily cropped photo or a mirror? Also seems the evil one is the primary subject. Very telling. Yes. Yes, you're digging into the signifiers. We have indeed had some discussion about the subjectivity of the evil one here. And its thematic implications. As for whether it's a photo or a mirror, that's up to you to decide. See how good of an artist I am? That's open for interpretation. This is a fantastic start, the likes of which we hadn't seen yet. We've mostly been dodging both zombie and flyer on 2. We got the perfect 1-2 punch, as long as they don't just skip the turn. Great, I'll take it. I think the evil Blobby kidnapped Blobby and trapped him in the mirror. Perhaps it is us looking at you. Us. Like Jordan Peele's Us. Oh, it is a lot like Jordan Peele's Us, actually, now that you mention it. Now that I've mentioned that you've mentioned it. This wasn't my intention, but it actually reminds me of Rick and Morty. Specifically Alfred Molina's character in Season 1. Alright, lingering zombie. Keep kicking their ass. Keep kicking their ass. The zombie has done so much for us already this game. It got us an extra 2-2. Took care of 2 minions so far. Pretty straightforward armorer, in large part because it's the way to set up a nice guard next turn. And in large part also because it was our only play. And by Alfred Molina's character in Rick and Morty, I of course mean the literal devil. I saw a clip from this movie called Mirrors from, I want to say, the early 2000s. It's a mostly forgotten horror movie that was apparently pretty bad. I had certainly never really heard anyone talk about it. But I saw this clip from the movie that was awesome. It was a woman looking at herself in the mirror in the bathroom. She's about to, you know, get naked and take a bath because it's a horror movie. And, she's like looking at herself in the mirror and then she turns to go to the bath and the mirror self stays. It's called Mirrors. Mirror. She's looking in the mirror in the movie Mirrors. I'll just say Mirrors a few more times. Mirrors. And so she stays in the mirror while her non-mirror self goes into the bathtub. Let me make my turn, then I'll tell the rest. Monk got terms of service. Bump. Bump. Oh, triple trade? Will I triple trade? Do I... I could take the egg and then buff the board and... I'm looking at like big brain lines and I'm not really seeing one, so I think I will stick with the architect here and do a triple trash trade. The third trade is mostly to protect our 4-2 here. So yeah, she goes into the bathtub and her other self is still in the mirror and she's like relaxing. And then the mirror self goes like kind of looks over at her and goes like this. And like jams her fingers in her mouth and starts to open her jaw up. And the lady in the bathtub's jaw starts to go like that as she starts screaming because she doesn't know what's happening. And the mirror herself pulls her jaw so hard that her like jaw rips off her face and she's like thrashing around and the bathtub's getting all red. And for being a scene from a apparently bad horror movie that I'd never heard of and nobody talks about. It was really good special effects. Really good, at least in part practical effects, I assume. Not the draw I was looking for. Are we playing these three things? Or... Maybe we just... Maybe we actually play these three things. We want another taunt, or maybe we go aggressive here. God, we're gonna be screwed to AoE, but... Okay, only missed 1 damage. I do want this extra aggression, even though AoE is said. What archetype are they? They could have the Frost AoE. They're blue and red.
Good to use.
Asphyxiate? That's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still not really anything to copy. So let's kiss, keep it simple, stupid. Let's kiss, chat. And this gets the trade because I think this 2/6 might be important should an AoE come down. So I'll miss one damage to get rid of a vulnerable body. We petered out a bit at the end, but we still got there. You can't copy and go face. It would still have summoning sickness, I suppose. I know this is gonna be a rager. I know it's gonna be a rager. Because I think that opponent was pissed off at us, like, actually thinking about our plays. Let's see what they have to say. Stinky. Uh-oh.
I must protect the wild.
Never heard that one before. I'm just gonna kill them with kindness. I think they already unadded former Fred, yeah. Oh, they sure got the best of me. Go neck yourself. Wow. That's a new one. Does that mean, like, hang yourself? Or were they trying to type fuck yourself? I never heard that expression. I assume it's like... You know? Anyway, trigger warning. We got what we needed out of it, though. A new Blobby name. Roping trash. We got what we needed out of them. Got the fisherman in case it wants to die to activate our fly. Typical Druid player, and what is that supposed to mean? That I that I built a deck with Druid's win condition in mind and then proceeded to enact that win condition, I suppose. I didn't even do anything crazy. I don't think I did anything crazy. That game, at least. I didn't even use Astalor that game, right? I'll use it this game, though. See, they don't even know what indignation they're missing out on.
If I got in, get out.
Someone else running Stockade's prisoner. I'm not the only one.
My dying breath is for this city.
Are we aggressive? We don't have to be, but we can be. We should start keeping track of dead stuff. So the 2-2 is 1. This will be 2. And Tuskar is 3. They're being mean for no reason. The game wasn't like a top deck win thing. It was just playing and they lost. Yeah, it was a totally normal game. So I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we played Felsoul Inquisitor. I don't know what there is to be mad about. If you get beat by Felsoul Inquisitor, gotta look in the mirror a little bit like evil Blobby. Kind of evaluate how much of it's your fault. I don't know what that play is here. Yeah, I think they were mad about the turn length. They can go fuck themselves for that, because it's a game and I'm going to use my turns to play the game. But they didn't mention it in their comments. Usually people who are mad about that do mention it. Shoot that. Hero power there. I don't know. Really unsure about this turn. We could have just Silver Mooned this. That would have been okay. Would like to save this until it's active, if possible. Oh, right. I mean, they did call me roping whatever I put in the... That's the part I fixated on and I already forgot about it. You're right. Interesting concoction that they stumbled into.
The sea floor be its own
Okay, this is like the 4th-ish thing to die.
Hope prevails.
You actually have to worry about our health total. I guess not, because that's coming. And we have this. Okay, I guess we're fine. Are we ever dead to like a... Like if we trade here and here, we'll take 2 damage. We're at 13. Battlemaster, that's 10. 11, put us 2. Worst case scenario, we're at 2 health. We Architect for a turn. Clear their Battlemaster. That's a little spooky though. I'm gonna defer to the spookiness of that and actually just do this. Changing my plan. We want to allow them no chance to even get close to killing us before we play this. We probably have like 5 things in here. Or so. Which is maybe enough to play it. Yeah, there is absolutely a huge difference between taking your whole turn to think and making a play and then roping. The latter is only malice. If it happens once in a game, I assume absent-mindedness. If it happens twice in a row, I assume intent. We'll do this first. Get the O5s into the swarm box, and then we'll be set to go with it. We haven't played a lot of swarm this run. Fresco intentionally ropes. There, I would say, there are... They had it, chat. They had it. You do often spend your time talking about stuff rather than thinking about turns? Okay, well, fuck me. I'll just end the stream and finish offline then. Yeah, it's my job. And I know that the opponents don't know that, but part of empathy is allowing for the idea that something may be happening in the subjective experience of the person you're interacting with that you don't know or understand. It's like step one of empathy. I think I would trade roots. No. Wait, how do we want to do this? The 5/5 needs to die, of course. And there's a few different ways we could go about that. You could trade and shoot with roots and play swarm. I'm actually going to swarm first, even though we miss a body, and then buff and kill. I could have... Well, I mean, that's fine. We do it this way. There are a select few circumstances where I would say there's good tactical or strategic reason to rope, and I would excuse intentional roping in those circumstances. There are times when you want to make your opponent think that you've left or disconnected. I think that's fair game because it's within the bounds of the rules. Other people might think differently. But if you're doing it on some random turn, just in case it might annoy your opponent enough for them to quit, that's probably a shitty thing for you to do. Astalor is not even ready next turn anyway, so we may as well wait to play this until next turn and try to stick a banker. On the other hand, you could argue you should have played Astalor in case the 8 damage is lethal next turn. That's something that could be a thing. What's up, Giladi? Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fun dungeon. Glad to have you. Not killing the banker would be a mistake. And it's hard to imagine. Unless, I guess they just don't want us to get swarmed, but... we can get it anyway. I mean, that's not how that works. Double trade, play swarm, hopefully get that rush. Or play this with soul now. We go up to 17. The problem is another Battle Master would kill us, which is unacceptable. So I guess we're playing Swarm. Thank God, because if we missed this rush, it would have been a little Monka-esque. I don't know how many bodies at this point we would be missing. At least one. Oh, but we did already swarm once, so it's really just a crapshoot what we get at this point. But the taunts in the way also would be enough to stop the Moarg, hopefully. Okay. Gotta be lethal. Very nice. We may have been out of the run by this point if it weren't for Astalor, to be honest. Could have ended at like 6-3 or something.
Malfurion versus Gul'dan. Your soul shall be mine. I must protect the wild.
Hey, foul egg. Okay. We can play stockades on 2 and get it out pretty fast, probably. That's great. That's great for us. Even better. This is functionally as powerful as the stockades anyway, so may as well just get it now. I wonder if you rip it here. Sometimes playing at a fast pace can lead to a concede or opponent misplays. No, that's true. That's true. And some streamers do that. They intentionally play very fast to put pressure on the opponent and knock them off their axis. It's actually hold on, let me think. We're not doing it. Because that's a Tar Creeper, probably doesn't really clear anything. Let's hold it. Play it with momentum next turn. Okay. That's actually a tactic that is used even at the highest levels of chess. Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, who's famous for streaming on Twitch. Also famous for being probably the best blitz player in the world, even though he's worse than the world champion at slow chess. And he often wins games that look like easy draws by putting his opponent in time trouble by like playing